Yo, what's up guys? So in this video, I'm going to teach you a trick of mine that I call Chickaloon. So this trick, Chickaloon, is going to appear in an upcoming project which is very exciting. More details will be announced soon. So you've probably heard the phrase, we stand on the shoulder of giants, which is a very true statement. This trick was inspired by, or it's a reimagined handling, of a very old trick by a guy named Charles Shoke, or sometimes called Sheik. It appeared in a book by Rufus Steele called 50 Tricks You Can Do, You Will Do, Easy to Do. And in fact, this book, this little booklet is there's some solid gems in this book. You should actually probably check it out. Alright, so if you'll allow me to sort of nerd out with you for a moment, the reason why I called the trick Chickaloon is because, first of all, it's named after the guy who had created it, Sheik, right? That's his nickname, so Chickaloon, Sheik, is kind of named after him. Also, in this updated handling, I put in a sort of a Klondike shuffle into it, and another word for Alaska, the state of Alaska, is the Klondike, and there is a town in Alaska called Chickaloon. Let's get into it. Alright, so what I will do is demonstrate and do a little performance of what this trick might look like for a volunteer, okay? So after that, I will teach you exactly how it's done. Alright, so first of all, you would say, look, I want to have you pick a card in such a way that there's no possible way that I could know what it is or where it goes. And there's a few steps involved, but I really think this is the best way to do that. So start out by giving the deck your best shuffle. Let's just make sure that nobody can know where any cards are or how the cards end up, okay? So now I say, look, I'll give you a few cards, just take a few, it doesn't matter, that many is fine, okay, it's up to you. And now just do me a favor and mix those up so nobody can know anything. So they do that, they take these cards, they mix them up. Now you're gonna turn around, so I'll turn around, and what I want you to do is just spread them in front of you like you're playing a card game, and just think of one of them. So they do that. Let's just pretend they're doing this and they're thinking of a card. Let's just say they're thinking of this card here. Okay, so ask them to put that card down and mix them some more and put the rest of the cards on top of the deck. And now put your card on top of those. So there's no way I could know, what your card is next to because you shuffled them. But just to really make sure, pick up the deck and take some off the bottom too and mix those around and put those on top of the deck too. And there's no way I could possibly know what your card is or where it is or what it's next to at all. But just to really make sure, give the deck a cut. And so they do that, and when you finally turn back around, you say, look, there's no way I could possibly know anything about this card. You're just thinking of it, and you shuffled everything. So the only way I could really find it is to use an old game called Chickaloon. It sounds silly. Have you heard of it? No? Well, it's a way in which psychics warm up. It's a sort of a warm-up game to get their psychic abilities going. And this is what they do. This is the truth. You can look it up. What they do is they take the deck and they take the top and bottom cards off like this, and what they do is they rub them around like this, and this, I guess, creates maybe static electricity or creates vibes. I don't know what it does, but this is really what they do. And then for some reason they can tell which card is the higher one of these, and I think this one's higher than the other one. 6. I was wrong. Hey, I hope this works. But just to save time, I'll do it with I'll start out with maybe half and half the deck at first. And you know what? I feel like your card is in this half. But this is what we'll do. We'll play that game Chickaloon like this. No. Ooh. I feel like it might be one of these two. Let me just do this. For the Chickaloon, I think this might be your card. What was it? Ace of Clubs? Alright, so I really hope that you enjoyed that performance, and I hope that fooled you. And The real reason why I want to show you this trick and teach it to you is because this is a perfect example of how you can structure a routine in a way that's just not the old, oh, pick a card, I think it's this one, boom, there it is. And most tricks in those old books like that, the one I mentioned, is like that. I mean, especially this one, the chic trick, it really is that. Somebody does the whole thinking of the card thing, and then you take the deck, spread through, and take their card out. And let's be honest, that's not a trick. So I encourage you to take a look back at those old tricks and those old books, and find those old card location tricks, and try to come up with your own, presentations for them. And what you might come up with is it's a lot of fun to create those sort of presentations. Like the old, what I did with the Klondike Shuffle, trying to find their card with a Chickaloon game thing. It's like, it's a lot of fun, and it's really entertaining, at least for me. So, as you might have speculated, this trick does use a key card. More specifically, it uses the famous key card, my key card, the pencil dot and edge mark combo. What I mean by that, of course, if you haven't seen these, if you're new here, all this is taking a card, it can be any card, it doesn't matter what it is, and drawing a little dot with a pencil on both white corners of that card. You can probably see that there on the camera. If you can't, take a closer look, you might be able to catch that. Now, I'm left-handed, so I draw mine on the top right and the bottom left corners, but if you're right-handed, you'll want to do yours on the top left and the bottom right, because when I spread the deck from right to left, I can see that pencil dot there because it's, on the right side, top right of the card. But for you, since you spread the deck, if you're right-handed, from left to right, you want to have it visible on the top left. Okay, so with your key card in the deck, you can spot it easily from the side because of the edge mark there. And using an edge mark, all you gotta do is take the edge of the pencil here on the lead and just color in a small line on the edge of the card there, like this, on both sides, on the same side you do your dot. Okay. So to present this, you can present it however you want to, but you say, look, I want to have you pick a card in such a way that there is no way I can know what it is or where it is. So for starters, it's important you get the deck a good shuffle. So they do that. And when you get it back, you want to see about where your edge mark is. And right now it's close to the bottom, so that's perfect. But it's like too close to the top. You want to give the deck a cut. Like if it's on top, you want to give the deck a cut, or just have them shuffle again. And then you don't want it to be in the top 7 cards of the deck is what I'm trying to say, okay? So you can tell that with the edge mark. So now that you can see that your edge mark is somewhere in the middle, you're going to give them 7 cards, okay? So, but you're going to make it seem like it was their idea. And this is sort of inspired by Danny DeOrtiz's handling of cards. Sort of like a classic force in a way. You say, here, take some cards. It doesn't matter. But you're really giving them 7 cards, right? It's up to you how the amount of cards you give them. But you want to make it seem like it was their choice. Like, here, just take a few cards. That many, that's fine. And all you're going to do here is spread count 3, 2, 2. Right? That's for total of 7. So go 3, 2, and 2. But do that casually. Say, here, take a few cards. It doesn't matter. That many is fine. And you can see the Danny influence in that. But you always give them 7 cards. Now, you ask them to mix those cards around, and what you're going to do here is transfer that key card, that pencil dot card, to the top of the deck through the guise of showing them how to shuffle the cards. Say, do me a favor, mix those cards around so nobody can know. And by doing that, I would transfer that card to the top of the deck. So all you're going to do here is you can see where the edge mark is, so just spread down to it. Right? Just spread down to it and just put it on top. That's all you're doing. Because you can see the back of the pencil dot right there. So spread down to where you see that and just put it on top like this. Spread over a group of cards on top there and just put some on the bottom. And you're doing that as sort of a gesture, as a demonstration for shuffling. Say, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Just give your cards a little shuffle like this so nobody could know. And just drop the deck on the table. But you put the key card on top of the deck. I should point out that in the old handling, it would be the participant who just grabs a bunch of cards from the middle like this, and then you would turn your head and you would say, just think of one of these like this, and as you do this, you would just count those cards, and so you would know the number. But and that's a good method, but I find it better to do it that way I just showed you. That way you don't have to count anything, and it doesn't seem like you could know the cards they took because they seemingly took them, right? So you already know the number, and your back is turned already. So at this point, you ask them to spread the cards like they're playing a card game, and think of one and take it out and put it face down on the table. So they do that. Our card will be the 7 of diamonds in this case, and they put it on the table. Now you ask them to mix up the rest of the cards they have and put it on top of the deck. Now, all they're doing here is putting these cards on top of the key card on top of the deck. All right, so now you say, look, now put your card on top of those. And doing that, I couldn't possibly know which cards are by your card. And then now you say, but just to really make sure, pick up the deck and take some from the bottom, mix those up and put them on top of everything. So that way there's no way I could possibly know anything about where your card is, right? But just to really make sure, give the whole deck a cut. And the whole time you're giving these instructions, your back is turned the whole time, so there's no way you could possibly see anything. All right, now they give the deck a cut. Now at this point, their thought of card will be somewhere down in the bottom portion of the deck, and the key card will be 7 cards below their thought of card. So let me do that again and give you a visual of what's happening. I'll put cards face up so you can follow along. So here's the key card, and like I said, it'll be 7 cards away from it above. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should be the card. Yeah, the 7 of diamonds right there. But I'll demonstrate this again and show you exactly what's going on. So we're at this point, you have the key card on top of the deck already, and they've just shuffled these, taking their thought of card out, put it on the table, shuffled these and put those on top of the key card, right? So now you ask them to put their thought of card on top, then they just take a few cards from the bottom, which I'll leave that face up for you. They shuffle these and then put those on top. So you can already see here that it's always going to be 7 cards away above the key card. So when they cut the deck now, it doesn't change anything, obviously. It just puts it in the bottom portion of the deck here, so it's always going to be 7 away from the card there. You can see that very clearly there. And just to make it easier to follow, I'll leave these face up for the remainder of the explanation, alright? So now what you do is you set, and actually you can give it a brief overhand shuffle if you want to. It's not going to change anything, just off the top like this, but don't go too much, all right? So see, look, now there's no way I could possibly know what your card is, where it is. You know, you just thought of it and you shuffled everything around it and cut the deck. The only way I could really find it is by using an old game called Chickaloon. Are you familiar with it? And of course they'll say no because it's a made-up game. And then you say, look, it goes like this. Psychics use it to warm up when they need to be a psychic. And then what they do is they take the top and bottom cards off like this and they rub them around like this, and they try, I don't know what this does, maybe it creates static electricity or some vibes, I don't know, but they can always tell when they do that which card is the higher of the pair. And I think if I use my psychic abilities, I might say that this one is the higher one of the pair. Ha! I nailed it. And you can throw in guesses if you want, or if you're using a marked deck, you can actually nail them every time. It's up to you, however you want to do it, right? But actually do a few of these like this and say, yeah, that's what they do. Just explain the game, basically. And now what you're going to do is say, look, just to save time, I will, I'll go maybe this many, and see, look, I think your card might be in here. And all you're going to do here is when you spread through, just locate your pencil dot, right? This will be the pencil dotted card. That's the key card. So just look for your pencil dot, right? Just spread through and see where your pencil dot is and separate them right there. So the pencil dot goes over here. So right now on this half, their card is 7 cards from the bottom, right? So you always separate it to where the key card will be in your dealing hand. Again, very easy to do because there was a pencil dot on the back of that card. So we'll just use half the deck to save time. Yeah, I think your card is, if I had to guess using Chickaloon, I think it might be in here, and just drop these on the table. All right, so now what you do is you just start going through the Klondike Shuffle thing, and let's see if I can do it. And all I'm gonna do here is do it 7 times because their card is 7 away, right? So just go, don't count it in your head, obviously. So just go, no, no, not getting any vibes there. No, not getting any there. No. I think I'm getting closer. I think I feel like getting hot too. Maybe. Ooh, maybe you're right here. I think it's one of these. And then just do it 7 times, and just like the Chickaloon thing, like you're trying to get the high card, you're gonna get their card instead. But you know it's the bottom one of the pair when you separate it, so there's no guesswork about it. So I think your card might be this one. What was the card you just thought of? And then, man, after all that, you're 1 card left out of the whole deck, and they named their card 7 of diamonds. Boom. And that is it's a chic trick. What can I say? Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video. It truly does mean the world to me. And so if you learned something new and if you got value from the video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.